In this video, we're going to be talking about calculating your risk correctly and also creating a trading plan that is tailored to your goals. Now, when it comes to risk management, there's going to be two factors that ultimately are all that matter. And it's going to be what is your win rate and what is your average risk to reward ratio. You see, in trading, what we're aiming to do is to become consistently profitable, meaning that our equity or our profits are just continuously growing, where we're gonna have dips, but overall we're gonna end up trending upwards. So we're gonna make money, we're gonna lose money over and over, but we need to have math work on our side. So either we make more wins than we have losses, or our winners are much bigger than our losses. So let's explore what that looks like. So we're going to evaluate the performance of two different traders with two different approaches to their trading. Trader number one is someone who wins 80% of their trades with a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. In this example, we're going to talk about risking 1% per trade. And you should really implement percentage-based thinking into your performance so that you can approach the game the same way that a professional does. Now, if we take 10 trades, that means we're going to have 8 wins at a plus 8% with 2 losses at a minus 2%, which is a net total profit of plus 6%. Trader number 2 is going to have a smaller win rate, meaning they only win 60% of their trades. However, their risk to reward ratio is higher at 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Same 1% risk per trade, taking 10 trades, we're going to have 6 wins for a total of plus 18% with 4 losses at minus 4% for a total of plus 14% total profit. So you can see that there are different approaches that can still allow you to be profitable and win in the markets, but you need to figure out what type of trader and what type of strategy you're going to be implementing, so that way you can start to decide whether you want to go for smaller wins but you have a higher win rate, or if you want to win less trades but your wins are much bigger than your losses. Each approach is fine, again, tailored to your preferences and your strategy. Now, let's break down how to actually calculate our lot size. In trading, our lot size is going to be the size of risk that we place into a specific trade. And so essentially what you're going to want to look at is, number one, how big is going to be my stop loss? And number two, how much do I want to risk on one given trade? Now, we're going to go a little bit more in depth on trading plans and how to scale your capital. But for this simple explanation of risk management, we're going to look at a formula, which is how to calculate your lot size, which is going to be how much money do you want to risk divided by the number of pips in our stop loss times 10. Now, you don't have to use this formula. You can refer to a couple of other resources that can help you calculate your lot size for you. Number one is going to be on the Akash's website. Under the tools section, we can find calculators. And if we click on calculators, you're going to see a lot size calculator where you can enter the instrument that you're trading. You can enter the size of the stop loss, the account balance, and in a percentage-based risk, how much do you want to risk? And it will actually calculate for you what that lot size is. So that is a way to do it without knowing the formula. The other way is going to be through the platform that you're trading on. Specifically with TradeLocker, what you can do is, if you actually pull up as if you were going to take a trade, you can enter what your stop loss is going to be. And so in this example, price currently sitting at around 26.20. We can enter our stop loss here at 26.15, and we can edit our stop loss here and our lot size. If I change this to 0.10, it's going to show me that a loss here would be $84. If I change this to a 0.20, it jumps up to $169 loss, and you can continue to basically edit this until you get to a number here that you want to risk. So that is the way you can do it on TradeLocker. That's the way you can use the calculators. And then again, you have that manual formula just so that you understand the process of how the computer actually comes up with these numbers. All right. Now we're going to take an example here of a new trade alert. And we're going to look at a gold buy, right? XAU USD buy. We have the EP, our entry price at 2,600. We have the stop loss set at 25.95. And then we have our 4 different take profit levels. Now, if we notice here from 2,600 to 25.95, that is a 50 pip stop loss on gold. All right. We're going to be trading with a $10,000 balance, and we're going to be risking 1% of our account. So we can enter that information into one of the calculators or into the trade locker info, or we can go ahead and do the math here for our calculations. So if we want to risk 1% of our $10,000 account, that is going to be $100. So if we do $100 divided by the number of pips in our stop loss, which is going to be 50 times 10. 50 times 10 would be 500. And so if we do 100 divided by 500, we're going to get a 0.20 lot size. And so if we refer to how do lot sizes work, right? For every 0.01 lot size, we're going to have 10 cents per pip of risk. So with a 0.20 lot size, we're going to have $2 of risk per pip. So if we do a 50 pip stop loss, we're going to have 2 times 50, which will be $100. And $100 is the 1% risk of our $10,000 account. So it's always great to lean on the resources and the computer to kind of, do the work for us. But as a trader, if you can understand how we even come up with these numbers, it's going to give you a lot of confidence as a trader to know if your position is right, wrong, etc. So good information to learn. And so this is how we're going to want to, again, take this trade alert, right? What lot size are we going to use if we want to risk 1% of our account for a $10,000 account on this specific trade alert? Well, we're going to want to use a 0.20 lot size so that we can risk that, 1%. So if we look at this trade alert with the entry at 2,600, the stop loss at 25.95, and our final take profit level at 26.15, we can see that this trade would be a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio if we target the final take profit level with that stop loss and entering at the ideal price of 2,600. If we go and edit these take profit levels to, let's say, 2602, we can see that the risk to reward ratio is 0.4, meaning that if we risk 1%, we get a little bit less than a 0.5% gain if we select that take profit level. If we bump that up to 2605, then we will get 1% off of the 1% risk. If we have TP3 at 2610, that is going to be a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, risking 1% to make 2. And then like I mentioned at the beginning, 2615 is about a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio for triple your risk. So again, everybody's going to have their different method or strategy based off of where they would want to take their profits at, evaluating their win rate, and then also looking at their risk to reward ratios on average. Now, the most important thing to take into account when you are talking about risk management is simply put, what can my account handle when things aren't going as planned? Meaning, in trading, everyone obviously wants to focus on making money, making profit. However, it's called risk management for a reason. We have to plan for scenarios that may not be foreseen, where you have some things like a losing streak. Even with years of experience, you can, find yourself at times losing 2, 3, 4 trades in a row, and you have to be able to have your risk set in a way where you can weather yourself through those losing streaks to ultimately bounce back and get back on your profits. So with that said, let's start diving into trading plans and looking at what do I need to do to reach some of the goals that I may have with my trading account if I'm trading with personal funds. And then we'll also look at a trading plan based off whether you are trading a funded prop firm challenge account. Now we're going to look at two different scenarios. Scenario number one, you are trading with personal funds. And scenario two, you are trading with a prop firm challenge such as, let's say, TradeX Mastery. And so on the personal account, we're going to have a scenario where we have $1,000 balance and we're going to be risking 5% per trade. Our risk to reward ratio is going to be a 2-to-1 average. We're going to have a 70% win rate and we're going to be taking 10 trades a month. The second scenario with the prop firm, we're going to have a $10,000 challenge account. We're going to have a 1% risk per trade, the same 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, the same 70% win rate, and the same 10 trades a month. And we're going to compare what is possible with those metrics of a monthly, income, okay? So with the $1,000 balance, we have to understand that capital is everything. And most people may not have a lot of money to put into a trading account, or they don't want to put that much of their own capital at risk in the market. So let's use a healthy medium of about $1,000 balance here for realistic expectations. And I put a 5% risk because if we really risk 1% of our account with only $1,000, you're not going to have a very strong income if you are looking to, be able to pay bills or to be able to make trading something that is a sizable income for you. Now, everybody at the end of the day is going to have different goals when it comes to their trading. So you have to evaluate, do you want this to become your main income? Do you want this to be a secondary income? Do you want this to just be a very passive small income on the side that you do as a hobby, right? There's really no right or wrong answer, but depending on the route that you want to take, you need to realize what are the realistic, expectations as far as how much capital you need, how much risk you need to have, and what type of performance you need to be achieving in order to actually hit the goal. So if we have $1,000 balance, we need to be a little bit more risky if we really want to make some type of strong income from the account. And so let's look at a 5% risk. Now, with a 5% risk, you have to understand that you basically have 20 trades that you can get wrong in a row before you completely burn the account, right? Why? Because if we have $50 risk, 5% of $1,000, we need to lose 20 trades to basically lose the full $1,000. Now, with our performance, we're going to be having a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, meaning that every time we jump into a trade, we're risking $50 in order to make double that, which would be $100. So if we win 70% of our trades and we take 10 trades in a month, that means we're going to have 7 winners and 3 losers. If we look at 7 winners with a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, it means that we risked $50 to make 100 and we won 7 trades. That is $700 in profit. Now, if we include the losses, which are 3 out of 10, that is going to be $50 times 3 losses, which is $150. So if we do the math at the end of the month, taking those 10 trades, we're going to have $700 in profit minus $150 in losses for a net total of $600 in profit. Now, if you want to increase that amount, let's say, of how much you make a month, you would need to either win more trades or you have to have a higher risk to reward ratio on your trades, or you need to risk more percentage per trade on your account, right? Every solution that you're looking for is going to be found in those 3 metrics. How much are you risking per trade? How much are you winning when you're risking, right? And how many trades you're also taking on a monthly basis. Those are the 3 things that you can really control and really adapt to your trading plan. So always recommend that you start off on a, demo account and smaller capital until you start to realize what your performance really is. Whether you're taking tap to trades, whether you're taking trade alerts, whether you're taking your own trades, or a mixture of all 3, you're probably going to take more than 10 trades a month, right? So you can start to calculate, on a monthly basis, maybe you're taking 20 trades, 30 trades. The more trades you're taking, you're probably going to have to drop your risk, because at the end of the day, we're always, again, focused so much on the profit, which is why we trade. But you have to look at what can your account handle, right? And so if we're risking way too much per trade, let's say we risk 50% of our account per trade, yes, you can grow the account extremely fast However, all it takes is 2 losses in a row for you to completely lose the account. So you always have to think in terms of risk management, right? What can my account handle? How much do I win when I'm entering trades? Do I go on losing streaks, right? When you start to include all of those factors, you'll find that healthy medium of where you can find yourself at a sweet spot to maximize your profits and also, decrease the chances of really just throwing away your account. Now, let's look at a prop firm account with a $10,000 balance. With prop firms, a big difference is that you're going to have rules that you have to adhere by versus the personal account. Your one and only goal is just to not lose the account. With a prop firm, typically the rules are that you cannot have a daily drawdown of about 5%, meaning on this account, I cannot lose $500 in a single day or else I will lose the challenge account. Also, you cannot lose 10% of the overall balance because that will also fail the challenge and lose your account. So if I lose $1,000 overall, I'm going to have to start a new prop firm from scratch. Okay, so that's why we cannot risk 5% per trade, because essentially if you do that and you lose, you've already breached your one trade that lost the max daily value. So you have to approach it a little bit differently, less aggressive, because we have more capital to play with, right? We have 10 times the balance when we are trading with that 10K account. So let's keep the performance the same of 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, the same win rate percentage of 70%, and still taking only 10 trades a month. If we look at it, risking 1%, we're risking $100 to make $200. So when we have that 7 winning trades in the month, we're talking about $200 times 7 trades is $1,400 profit, minus the 3 losses at 100 apiece is 300. So 1,400 minus 300 is going to be 1,100 in total profit for the month, taking those 10 trades. So you can start to see now the difference between trading a smaller account with a higher risk versus a prop firm account with less risk. Now, if you have a personal account as well that has a $10,000 balance, $50,000 balance, then you can also drop your risk. So at the end of the day, the goal is to preserve capital. That is number 1. Preserve your capital. And number 2 is to make profit with the capital. How you go about that is going to be, again, so determined by how many trades you're taking on a monthly basis, how much you're risking, and how much bang for your buck are you getting with your risk to reward ratios. So these are the general outlines that you can take into your trading journey to start really piecing together what those numbers should be for you, right? There's no right or wrong formula because everybody's going to take a certain amount of trades a month. Everyone's going to have a certain amount of capital, and they're also going to have a certain amount of risk tolerance. And so when you put those 3 elements together, you're going to start to formulate your own unique trading plan. Now, these are some final tips that, regardless of your individual unique risk approach, you want to think about if you really want to be consistently profitable in your trading, right? Questions to ask yourself as a trader are, what days are you going to be trading? Not everybody is going to be able to trade, let's say, a Sunday night when the market is opening because of your lifestyle, because maybe you go to bed early, right? Depending on your time zone. Maybe you notice over time that you just don't do well on Mondays and you want to stop avoiding trading on Mondays. Maybe you don't like trading on Fridays because the market's about to close and price is not behaving the same, right? Everybody's going to have a unique, different approach, but you need to really categorize yourself into what days are you trading, what days are you not trading. Second tip, what instruments are you trading? Are you trading Forex pairs? Are you going to trade gold? Are you going to trade indices? Are you going to trade cryptos? Are you going to basically trade a little bit of everything? You want to know all of these details so that you have clarity and you have a game plan heading into each trading week. Now, heading into your wins and losses, right? Your gains and your risk. How many losses or wins in a day are you going to have before you stop? This is going to be a little bit different for a lot of people because you're going to have something called risk tolerance, right? The fear and the greed scale. These are all psychological things that start to show in your trading after some time. Whether you're taking tap to trades, whether you're taking trade alerts, or even your own trades, you're going to pick up on, hey, I've lost maybe, let's say, 2 trades in a row. Am I starting to feel like I want to revenge trade? Am I starting to feel like I'm losing my focus and I'm getting very emotional? Maybe you should consider stopping trading for the day, because you have to understand that this is a long-term process. You do not want to go in thinking that you have to conquer the world in one specific trading day. So always question your emotions, question your state of. If you feel that you are way too emotional in terms of a high, right? Like you've just won trade after trade after trade. Are you going to continue trading and risk giving back the profits you've already made for the day? Also, if you've been losing 2 or 3 trades in a row, are you feeling very emotional to where you're getting angry and you want to take your anger out on the market and jump into another trade? Whenever you feel too high or too low, you need to take a step back and consider whether you should continue placing positions that day, because you can walk away, reset, and come back the next day. The same goes for a trading week. It's not just looking at your trading on a daily basis, but you want to evaluate how you feel and how things are going on a weekly basis. So have you won too many trades this week? Do you think it's time to just take your profits and put your attention and energy elsewhere for the week? Same thing with your losses. Have you felt that this has been a really tough week? You just feel very fatigued from your losses. Maybe you just need to take a break, come back at it with a fresh mind the next week. Everybody's going to have a different tolerance for that. So you have to be very, aware of what you can handle. Another tip, what strategy are you using? Are you simply only taking tap to trades? Are you only taking trade alerts? Are you taking your own trades based off a strategy you're learning here on Akashex? That's going to really, influence how many trades you're taking a day, how many trades you're taking a week, which is going to affect, again, how you can handle so much activity or maybe too little activity, right? So understand coming into the week, what is your game plan? Are you going to take all of the tap to trades, only some of the tap to trades? Are you going to only refer to specific educators or all of them, right? Over time, you're going to see what fits right for you. 6th tip, are you trading a personal account or a prop firm? Like we mentioned with the risk management a little bit earlier, the way you approach your personal account and your prop firm are going to be different based on the rules, for example, that a prop firm has with daily drawdown, overall drawdown. And with your personal account, you have to realize that yes, you are your own boss in trading, but that means that you have to be held accountable and you have to be very responsible when it comes to your own money at the end of the day, knowing when to keep going or when to stop. Last thing is, again, your focus and your fatigue. You have to be very, very aware with everything that we've talked about on these tips. What is your focus level? Do you feel that your mind is very sharp in the game, or do you feel like you are just exhausted, tired? Maybe you've done way too much this week. Always keep a pulse on you. Even though you're a part of a platform, even though you have a team of educators and a community rallying behind you, supporting you, you will ultimately have the responsibility for your own trading account and your own performance. And so you have to ask yourself, am I mentally able to trade, right? Look at it like a sport. Look at it like a profession. It is a business at the end of the day. So if you are not in the right state of mind, you can't really expect yourself to perform at your best capability. So you have to take a step back sometimes and ask yourself, am I ready to take this next trade? If you don't feel 100%, don't feel like you have to take a trade, because guys, the market is always going to provide opportunities on a daily basis. There are more trades to come. So simply just, again, keep an inventory of your emotions, of your focus, of your fatigue, and let that guide whether you should continue trading, stop trading for the day, the week, and move on from there. For more tips and specifics when it comes to a trading plan, you want to refer to the education team, whether it's myself, whether it's one of the other educators, to really know, hey, based on the strategy or the educators that I'm taking trades from or learning from, what specifically should I be doing as far as, how long I'm holding my trades for? What type of, trades am I looking for? Should I be closing at this take profit? Should I be, taking this many losses or wins in a row? All those very intricate details are going to be found, again, based off of your unique strategy. And you can find that through the educator training series, the live sessions, and the community chats that you have available to you as a member of Akashex.